Hey there all you beautiful glaze guardians, it's Milky with the Milky Donut. Today we're not doing a fancy video, no fancy editing. I'm actually not even going to script this video, I'm just going to talk, so forgive me if I ramble, and I don't think this topic is really deserving of a full-fledged video essay, but it is worth talking about, so that's what we're going to do today. That being what Arrowhead Studios is deciding to do with the nerfs with Helldivers 2. I just think it's making the game less fun, less enjoyable, and I'm definitely not the only one because I see it all over the place, and now I feel like a hypocrite because I just made a video like a few days ago talking about people who didn't like this game because of balancing issues, and here I am making a video about balancing issues and why I don't like them, so oh well, it is what it is, but yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you're a subscriber to this channel, or have seen any of my past videos, you know that I'm a huge Helldivers 2 fan. It's pretty much the game that got me back into gaming, and is actually what got me to start YouTube. A good buddy of mine and I have wanted to start YouTube for a while, and we just never started, but Helldivers 2 was a great reason to start, so here we are. And he's actually going to be joining me on this channel soon, so get ready for that. He's basically the donut to my Milky. So anyways, I think Arrowhead Studios needs to stop hyper-fixating on balance at the expense of fun. Just because something's balanced doesn't make it fun by default. If this was a survival game where the developers had to strategically place ammo and nerf or buff weapons accordingly to make you struggle on purpose, that would make sense to me, but that's not what Helldivers 2 is. At the end of the day, it's simply a run and gun horde shooter, and part of what makes games like that so fun is just being able to obliterate hundreds of enemies with heavy firepower. And none of the nerfs really bothered me until the R36 eruptor nerf, and that one was like, okay, I can feel this one feels like a nerf to the point where it doesn't even feel like the same weapon. And that was sad because that was like a super dope weapon that I really like to use. And most of you probably know, but the eruptor had a ricochet effect after shooting an enemy, and shrapnel would basically obliterate anything in the area of effect, including Helldivers. So Arrowhead decided to take the shrapnel damage away and buff up the damage to 420 via blast radius. Before the nerf, when it came to Hive Guard Terminids, you could shoot near or around them or directly hit under their head for a one shot, and now it's 2 to 3 shots depending on placement for a kill. And for the Brood Commanders, I've been able to take them out with 2 shots to the head, but I've also had times where it takes up to 5 shots, whereas before I could just shoot, I wouldn't even have to hit them, I could shoot directly under them and it would take out all their legs and they were pretty much done for. And I know I'm not the only one, I know I don't just suck, because I've heard people say the exact same thing and have the exact same experiences. So I feel like the eruptor got hit pretty hard with these guys. At least for me personally, I feel it the most when I'm trying to achieve ground control with hordes of brood commanders, and it's not even this close to how it used to be. And it just gets worse from there with nursing spewers and chargers and so on, but I'm not even going to get into all that. I mainly wanted to talk about the XO45 Patriot mech because that one actually made me upset because I really was excited for that, and it was super good upon release, and they just, in my opinion, they ruined it. And like I said, I used to love the XO45 Patriot when it came out. Like it was a powerhouse against the Terminids. You rarely got into a compromised position unless like shiz was really hitting the fan, but you could make one last almost an entire mission depending on what you were doing, and it had good accuracy, it was surprisingly maneuverable even in rocky or elevated terrain, which was a huge surprise. I thought it was going to be like super clunky and terrible, and it wasn't. And it also had decent shot accuracy while moving or retreating, and the Gatling gun mounted on the right side was powerful enough to easily take care of small to medium armored enemies, and it had enough ammo to be able to make it last if you weren't careless about expending it. But the best part about the XO45 was the rockets that were mounted on the left side of the mech. One well-placed shot from a rocket could completely delete the armor from a charger's legs, rendering them defenseless against lighter firepower, and this was a huge perk of the Patriot, especially when it came to like castle defense missions, guarding the rocket launches. You could even 2-shot Bile Titans with 2 headshots, but to me it never felt overpowered or made missions feel easy. You still had to be tactful with how you used it, and you only got 14 rockets. There was no way to replenish your ammo if you ran out, and you only get 2 mech stratagems per mission. So in my opinion, it was perfect how it was upon release. It felt balanced, and it wasn't broke, and they broke it. And the reason they broke it is because of a glitch the mech had, where if you shot a rocket while doing a sharp turn, you would shoot yourself and die. So their fix to this was to make the rockets shoot about 5 in-game feet to the left of where your reticle was, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you master aiming it one way and then it suddenly changes, it makes a huge difference to your mission productivity while using it. It made made headshotting Bile Titans way harder, and I even struggled to hit close range enemies with rockets like chargers, and the main appeal of the Patriot was its ability to effectively take out large and heavily armored enemies. And not only that, they made it so you couldn't, you had to, you could only penetrate armor with a direct hit, whereas before it had range damage, so you could shoot around them, it would still damage their armor. But now it's harder to even hit them directly because the aim sucks. So I think it's just a stupid decision, and I really don't understand it. Your rockets last about half as long now because you're less likely to make accurate shots, and you also can't take out charges with one shot anymore. And this ruined my excitement for the XO49 Emancipator mech, because even if it was effective upon release, they'd probably just inevitably nerf it later on, and to my unsurprise, they actually nerfed it before they even released it, which is just fantastic and stupid, really. So I really just don't know why they're so obsessed with making a perfect balance I mean, especially when so many of the fans are like being vocal about not agreeing with it, and they've been so good about everything else. Like I love Helldivers 2, and I really respect Arrowhead Studios, but I just feel like they're making some decisions that are actually ruining what was such like a perfect lightning in a bottle experience. And it's almost like they're overthinking things. Like it's such a simple concept, really. It doesn't have to be perfectly balanced, and it was fun. It's you know, so I don't know. And I get the person in charge of balancing has an anything but innocent track record, so I shouldn't be surprised, but it just sucks when it makes it hard to be excited for new things that seem fun and even are fun upon release, when just in the back of your head you just know that it's probably going to get nerfed and it's going to ruin the experience. So it's like, what's the point of even getting excited about new things? But like I said, I still love this game. I glazed this game so hard, like in my last videos, so I'm just giving it some criticism from a place of love, and I just hope that they don't let perfection and balance ruin what they had. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Like I said, sorry it wasn't fancy, and I really didn't edit hardly anything, but it was just something I wanted to talk about. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and a subscribe. If you didn't, that's fine. I'm glad you stuck around and listened to me fumble over my words, because I'm so used to reading a script and doing all that. But this is the real Melky, just talking about stuff he loves. So yeah, I hope you all have a good one. Until next time, I'll see ya on the Melky Donut.